Well, hello, boys and girls. Here we are at When I Feel Like It o'clock, and I have another meditation lamp helping me on my picks today. Yes, I also talked to the creator last night, and he's doing fine. Um, Kelly Bradshaw from Newmarket, Ontario, he says you should probably turn left when you get to Gravenhurst today. You were asking, I guess. I don't know what it means. He just told me that. And Daryl Bancroft. That's an odd name. Daryl Bancroft from Chester Peak, England. He says, yes, your dead family does see you do that. Yeah, I already knew that, actually. He didn't have to tell me that. But, okay. This is my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. I'm doing the new, everybody has to do the playoffs now, right? Who's going to win in the playoffs in the first round. So I'm doing it. Make sure you're well lubed. Get your books out. Go down to the lube dispenser over there and get your pencil sharpened. Get your binders and such out. You're going to need this information, boys and girls, for your betting, for all the betting you're going to do and all the cash you're going to bring in your winnings, right? You'll need this. So let me get my rum here. I disguise it as coffee. Yummy, yummy rum. It's rum o'clock as well, which is usually right around when I feel like it. Okay, let's get out of here. Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was hoping this would be the series that happened. Were you not rooting for Boston to lose the last game simply for this to happen? I got some schmutz. There we go. Okay, so I've been hearing from most of the prognosticators, like they like to call themselves, that this is going to be a really tight series and all of that. And I think that's mostly selling it for the TV because, well, let's just go down. What Patrice Bergeron, Krejci, and Nash versus, oh, come on, where's Toronto? I think I'd prepare for this sort of thing. Versus Austin Matthews, Kadri, and Bozak. Yes, I'm not putting their fourth line because really who cares about Plekanec? Austin Matthews, Kadri, and Bozak. That is kind of a wash, except that you have so much more playoff experience with the Boston Bruins and Bergeron. This is Matthews' first one, but I don't put too much stock into that simply because Matthews is just that strong that it doesn't really matter. Krejci, if he stays not injured, really, and Kadri is sort of a wash. Riley, Nash, also kind of a wash. So up the middle, I think Toronto and Boston are about even. Now, when we get to the wings, you got Brad Marchand, Rick Nash, who is injured. It'll be DeBrusk and Tim Schaller, and they don't put a fourth liner on the left side here because you could probably throw Noel Acciari or Anders Bjork in there if you want. David Pastrnak, Heinen, and Bacchus. That is a pretty solid right side. With the pickup of Brian Gionta, I will call the fourth line here. Brian Gionta on the fourth line is fantastic for this team. Now in Toronto, who are supposed to be still rebuilding, have a fantastic team for a team that's rebuilding. But Patrick Marleau, Zach Hyman, Matt Martin, Josh Levo, Nylander, Mitch Marner, Connor Brown, and Leo Komarov. I'm sorry, that just doesn't match up. I give this to a clear win for the Boston Bruins. Nylander's had an up and down year. Mitch Marner's fantastic, but when you're comparing those two, like the Marchands and guys that have so much playoff experience like Bacchus, I gotta give the win to Boston here. On defense, this is where really you have trouble for the Leafs. Morgan Riley, Jake Gardner, Nikita Zaitsev, and Ron Hainsey as your top four. Ron Hainsey at this stage of his career probably shouldn't be playing on a top four of a team that wants to win a cup. I love him. He's awesome. But you want him more as a 5-6, not as a top four. Now, that being said, Pittsburgh used him as a top four last year and won a cup, didn't they? However, Toronto doesn't have Crosby, Malkin, Kessel. You know, they just don't have that. Matthews is getting there, up in the Crosby levels and maybe Malkin levels, and maybe he's already there, but Marner's not. They don't have the forward depth to have this defense, to have this kind of a defense in the playoffs. Especially when you're now, out of all the teams, there's other teams that would have been better, like easier for them, I suppose, or they would line up better with on defense than in the or line up worse than, that's what I mean to say, that they could have played in the East. Torrey Krug, Charlie McAvoy, who is, I guess, healthy now. Brandon Carlo's injured, so you've got Adam McQuaid, Nick Holden, and Grzelcyk. Now, this doesn't sound like you think, well, actually, Toronto's defense sounds better. But they have some very underrated players here. I wouldn't say Toronto's player defense is underrated. It's rated just about where it is. But Adam McQuaid has really improved every single year. Very undervalued player on this team. Nick Holden was a great pickup. I know people say, well, he gives up the puck, and the guy moves the puck really well. Does he give it up every once in a while? Yes, but he moves it better than the average defenseman by quite a bit and has really helped this lineup. Grzelcyk has improved so much this year, more than anybody could have imagined. They have him playing as a number 7 here, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it'll move up to a number 6, that's the 5-6 spot. Because of Brandon Carlo not being there. But just McAvoy and Chara alone, I know this is hard to say because McAvoy is just a rookie. Those two guys alone are going to give Toronto plenty of trouble. Adam McQuaid and Grzelcyk on the top 4. You watch. I don't know how much you've been watching this team, but you're going to be really surprised by how well these two play. Now, that being said, I don't put it as a huge win for the Boston Bruins here. But with their forward depth as it is, which I think is better than Toronto's, and the defense at best being a wash, but I give Boston a bit of an edge, you are stuck with, of course, goaltending, which you have Tuukka Rask and Anderson. Now, I say that's kind of a wash. Either one of those goaltenders could win the series, though. If you go down to Khudobin and McElhinney, I give the edge to Khudobin. So if one of them gets injured, I think Khudobin is almost equally as good as Rask right now. So I give them the edge. But the Bergeron, Krejci, Riley Nash, Marchand, DeBrusk, and if Nash can come back, Pasternak and Heinen, I just don't think Toronto can compete with that right now with the defense they have. And although Boston's defense isn't what I would call super strong, I think they're good enough to handle what Toronto has to offer. So in which case, I got to give the edge to the Boston Bruins. I don't think it's going to be, a lot of people are saying 7. I say probably 6, maybe even 5. That's my full 42%, boys and girls. Stay tuned to watch all the rest of the series that I have in play for you. It's going to be so fun. We're going to frolic and have glee. Make sure you're well, boys and girls. My NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Hit the subscribe button and the bell, and I'll send you a vat of Vime's body lube and a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace, because everybody loves a pearl necklace. Lots of love to you.